address.
What's that?
A safe house in Paris.
Why would I need a safe house in Paris?
Should things at some point go terribly wrong, it's good to have a place to go. You know, for a cup of tea.
My brothers, my sisters, the clock is ticking faster. My dream, we who live for truth, for love. The moment has come to take our rightful place in the world where we wizards were free. Join me or die.
The wizarding and non-wizarding worlds have been at peace for over a century. Grindelwald wants to see that peace destroyed.
You want me to hunt him down? To kill him? Dumbledore, why can't you go?
I cannot move against Grindelwald. It has to be you.
You don't suffer from motion sickness, do you?
I don't do well on boats.
You'll be fine.
Do you know why I admire you, Newt? You do not seek power. You simply ask, is the thing right?
The time's coming when you're gonna have to pick a side.
No, I don't do sides.
What are you gonna do?
I think it's something.
Newt, you never met a monster you couldn't love.
Let's take him.
That's your brother?
I think that might have been the best moment of my life.
Fate of one, future of all. This was a dark, daring, and generally divisive follow-up. Boy, where do I begin with this one? I've been a huge Harry Potter fan as long as I can remember. It still stands as one of my favorite film franchises of all time, and in fact it is my number one. When I saw the original Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, I genuinely loved every minute of it. So skip ahead 2 years after that, and I was highly anticipating this sequel. So what did I think, and how does it measure up to its predecessor? I really enjoyed watching this sequel. Being able to step back into J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World was just as magical this time as it was in 2016. Seeing these characters' storylines continue was also very satisfying and a welcome return. As we've come to expect, the acting is great, the effects are excellent, and the music is nostalgic and memorable. So enough chit-chat, let's just begin. At this point in time, you already know what's first. It's the acting. Everyone in this film turns in stellar performances. This film follows a huge ensemble of people, so let's briefly break them down accordingly. Eddie Redmayne returns as the socially awkward but pure intention magizoologist Newt Scamander. Equally good-hearted as well as infinitely intelligent, it was a joy to see him back in action. Catherine Watterson and Alison Sudol also return as Aura Goldstein sisters, Tina and Queenie. One is given more to do than the other, but it was still great to see both of them again. Also returning is Dan Fogler as the charming muggle Jacob Kowalski. He was a standout in the original for me, and here is no different. He provided much-needed levity to some very tense moments throughout. Not to mention Ezra Miller's mysterious MacGuffin, Credence Barebone. The only other returning player is Johnny Depp as the film's silently slimy villain, Gellert Grindelwald, who ends up being a captivating presence in the movie. This is made all the more clear in the film's masterfully crafted opening sequence. But that's it for the returning characters. As for the newcomers to this franchise, there are quite a few. For starters, I thought Jude Law as a younger Albus Dumbledore was excellent casting. I only wish that he had more screen time than just about 20 minutes overall. I thought Callum Turner's brother to Newt, Theseus, was very solid. Jumping off of that, I thought Zoe Kravitz's Lita Lestrange was both heartbreaking, emotionally complex, and a major standout from that stacked cast. However, for every standout, there can always be a dud among the pack. That dud was Kim's portrayal of Nagini prior to her full transformation into a snake later on in the series. It's not that her performance was bad, it's more about her character having no real purpose in the film and the story. Aside from her shoehorned intro and being supportive of Credence, she did nothing in this film. She was just in the background constantly, and I thought it was rather pointless. That wraps it up for the acting. Next is the effects and the cinematography. The Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts franchises have always had great CGI work, and here is no different. Everything looks, forgive the pun, fantastic. While admittedly having less beasts this time around, the film still provides a nice assortment of familiar creatures as well as visually stunning backdrops. Seeing these creatures once again gave me chills in the best possible way. I always love seeing the Niffler get into trouble while scavenging for jewelry just out of reach. Furthermore, I found 2 new beasts in particular that were amazing to look at. The horse made entirely out of seaweed and the Chinese lion-dragon hybrid, to be more specific. Both were incredibly realized. The same can be said for the cinematography, as Philippe Rousselot, having shot the 2016 original as well, returned and outdid himself on this second go-around. Before we get to the negatives, let's mention the musical score. Having also composed the 2016 original, James Newton Howard returns with an exceptional score that might just top the originals in my book. He found the perfect balance between exciting and nostalgic. I could not get enough of it. Now for the negatives, which there are a fair amount, unfortunately. This film can often feel unfocused in its execution, mainly because we're following a bunch of different people, new and old, throughout. This also ties into my next issue, the character development. Honestly, there isn't much at all. The film relies heavily on the audience having seen the previous film, so they know what's going on in this one. That's not always a strength for the film. I also did not care much for what they did with 2 key characters in the film's climactic finale. That being said, I did enjoy the finale as a whole, though. In conclusion, I enjoyed this film very much so. Sure, the narrative is a bit unfocused, and the character development is pretty non-existent, but neither of these bothered me all that much. On the plus side, this film is much faster paced than the original, and it does feel more epic in scale this time around. Not to mention a third act reveal that had my jaw literally on the floor, and an enticing cliffhanger to boot. It's not as cohesive as the original, but it's still a pretty solid sequel on its own. To hell with the critics and their 40% Rotten Tomatoes score. I give Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald 4 out of 5 stars. Thank you so much for listening.